There are, however, several countries in Latin America and the Caribbean that are in transition, as the World Economic Forum would see it. They are moving towards, they're making efforts to take that step. I know of two in Latin America, three. Really. One is Chile, that is in a transitional stage. Another one is Brazil. And then you have there Trinidad and Tobago. You know? Does that mean that that's it's a knowledge-driven economy? Not quite yet, but they are moving in that direction. Okay? So we want to know how to move forward, how to, here in the center, how to get better compared to our own level, and then dynamically how to move forward to the next stage. And what is a knowledge-driven economy? That's why I need to stop here 1 minute. Defining the knowledge economy. What is a knowledge economy? I apologize for the so many, texts here. But let me go over this 1 minute. A knowledge economy is one that is defined by the adaptation, creation, transmission, and productive application of knowledge as a major driver. So what the economy does, it does through knowledge mainly. That's what pulls the economic activity up. The most dynamic economic sectors at the global stage are knowledge intensive. So the industries are growing, they're growing in profitability, they're growing in employment, are all knowledge, without exception, almost are knowledge economy industries, knowledge-driven industries. So if that is the world, if you connect with that world, then you start being driven by knowledge. Now, knowledge embedded in human capital or intangibles like intellectual property grows consistently in importance. A recent study by OECD established that over the past 10 years, investment in intangibles, in intellectual property rights, and ideas, patents, trademarks, licenses, at the OECD, in the advanced economies of the world, is larger, and listen to this, the investment in intangibles is larger than traditional investment in physical capital. That gives you the idea of what we are talking about. It's more money spent in getting better ideas and getting them to better use than in building, roads and bridges and factories. The knowledge content of products grows continuously. Look at your cell phone. Compare that cell phone with the cell phone you had 5 years ago. It's incomparable. Now it's so smart. It's threateningly smart. And this happens to everything that you use these days. The other day I read that they came up in the US with a fork that is smart. So when you're eating, it will flash or vibrate if you're eating too much. That's the way things are going. I'll try not to buy it myself. Not necessarily a blessing, but it happens. Then skilled work becomes ever more valuable. So in this world, routine tasks can be done by machines. You don't really need now someone, filling all the numbers in a table, no, all that is being processed and doing automatically. So, the skilled work, the work that can analyze, can understand, can face complex situations, can adapt standards to custom-made problems. That's the kind of thing that is more valuable. And the more skill, the higher the skill, the more valuable it is. This is worldwide. This is not Suriname. Innovation becomes key for business productivity and profitability across the board, including low-tech sectors. So let's take, for instance, mining, of your concern here. Mining is a very old sector. It's a traditional sector. I mean, what is older than trying to get some minerals from the earth. Now, today it's a high-tech activity, and it's becoming high-tech. In the US, the energy industry was written down 20 years ago. We will always be dependent on energy and oil, imported oil. Now, there is a boom of gas and oil in the US, and in a few years they anticipate they will be self-sufficient again, which it hasn't happened since the World War. Why? Technology. I mean, look at the way they now extract that. They can get to places where they couldn't get before. If you look at you go to a nanotechnology laboratory of these people that do the pipes, for instance, to extract the oil, they'll throw at you a pipe, and you think you're going to get killed until it bumps on you, because it's flexible, but it's almost indestructible. It's a new material that is flexible, it can twist, under sea or under the earth, and never break. This is nanotechnology applied. So this is what is making possible this revolution. So even very old industries, are getting, a new look and becoming high tech. Innovation is increasingly driven not only by technology, and certainly not mainly by advanced research, but by intangibles such as design, marketing, and communication. I have to emphasize this because you may go away from here thinking that this is hopeless, because when will be the leaders in nanotechnology, biotechnology, or something like that? It will take 100 years. Well, I don't know, not necessarily the case, but in any case, most of this doesn't involve necessarily high tech. Sometimes it's relatively low tech, or it's innovation which is not tech-based. It's marketing innovation with all technology, or business innovation. So, I mean, let's take a look at, for instance, are you familiar with Netflix? Netflix, and let's not talk about the Netflix of today, which is streaming through broadband. But let's take the Netflix of 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, that was distributing through mail. What is oldest than the postal service? Mail distribution. All they did was they had Blockbuster, which had these huge, retail stores renting videos, and they said, no, if you ask me, I'll send it by mail. You don't have to go to the store. And then they saved all the money of the retail space, and they wiped out Blockbuster in 2 years. It no longer exists, Blockbuster in the US. Now it's everything done through mail. And this is an old technology, sending things through mail. Now it's a whole new business model. It's an innovation in marketing and an innovation in the way things. Why cell telephony expanded, skyrocketed in this country and all developing countries? It was amazing. In a matter of 10 years, they went from 20 to over 100% of saturation of cell phones. Of course, there was some technological improvements in the way the machines are done, etc. But it was a lot of marketing innovation. Somebody came up with a prepaid cell phone. Ask any executive, and he will tell you in Latin America or the Caribbean that made the difference. That's the day things exploded, because the person didn't have to have a subscription, an account. They just went to the store on the corner, they bought a little card, and they could talk as long as they were willing to pay for those cards. That was what made the difference. So why do we have that technology widely, universally available today? Not because of someone discovered the microchip, but because somebody discovered or came up with the idea of prepayment. So technology sometimes is behind all this, sometimes it is not. It is innovation in the broadest sense. And then that's knowledge, that's marketing, again, ideas, brands, etc., design. Technology, however, has lowered the cost of innovation worldwide to unprecedented levels. So, especially communications technology has now made it possible to do things in business that weren't possible 10 years ago. Now you can have a business here. You need an engineer, you contact India, if you don't have it here, and they will provide engineering. Then you need the marketing. You contact the US, and media specialists in media, social media marketing will give you